of griddled asparagus. When I say griddled, I'm going to do it in a pan just to like give it a little caramelisation. But that's going to be for tea tonight. Let's get on with it. Hey guys, then, so got our potatoes on. Got our new potatoes in there. Just cut them up a little bit, cut them in half so they cook a little bit quicker. And then while that's doing its thing, I'm literally going to get my steak out, season it up, leave that to one side. Then I'm going to prep all my little veggie bits. So that'll be my bell peppers and funky plum tomatoes. So yeah, what I'm going to do, let me see if that's a bit better for you. I'm going to get my steak. And I'll keep it in the tray. And then all I'm going to do is season that up with some salt and pepper. Bit of salt. Bit of cracked black pepper. And then just smother a little bit of olive oil on it, and I'm just going to put that to one side for now. Just get out the room temp a little bit. So on here, just going to cut up peppers. Obviously just cut the centres out and cut the stalk off. And then we can cut the pith out as well if you like. I always do. Sorry about that noise, that was my pump going crazy on the sink now. So working with two hobs and in a tight area is so important to work tidy. So when you get out what you need, and just try and keep it as clean and tidy as possible. So these potatoes, obviously, because they're going to take the longest to cook, they're on now, which gives us time to get everything else ready. And what I'm going to do with this is dice it up, and then we're going to cook all this diced stuff up with the steak. So there's our peppers, and then we get our tomatoes. Try and pick some different colour ones so it looks pretty. That'll do. And these I'm just going to sort of cut into little cubes, not necessarily dice it, but just cut them in little bits. Fridge is working overtime today in this heat. I reckon it must be about 30. Rich, yeah. What do you reckon the temperature is?
I can tell you exactly what it is, 25 degrees.
It's 25 degrees out there. Flip it out. No aircon in the van, it gets pretty warm. Although, I'm happy staying here. I'd rather be here than at work. Kind of a no-brainer, really, isn't it? There we go, so we've got a bit of that in there. Take our onion. Still staying tidy, or as tidy as you can be. Lovely. And then my favourite chestnut mushrooms. Just a few of those. Obviously this would easily feed 2 people or one of me. So what I'm going to do is get all that in the pan. And then even I'm not putting that on yet, I can just put that up out of the way. Take some kitchen roll and then just wipe this down. Now it gives me a bit more prep space again. The final bit, which is an asparagus. I'm going to cook all of that because I love it. Let's cut the crap bits off the end. And then all we're going to do with those is poach them off really lightly in a bit of water. I'm going to do that now. It might seem a bit weird. It might seem a little bit strange, but I'm going to poach the asparagus off in a frying pan with a little bit of water on it. Because obviously the frying pan is shallower, it's got a bigger surface area, so that'll cook a lot quicker, it'll come to the boil very fast. Meanwhile, new potatoes are coming up. They're still a bit of a way off yet, but I'm going to turn them down a little tad anyway. Don't want them boiling over. So yeah, and now I'm going to get the asparagus in there like that. Get that fired up, and then just blanch them off a bit, and then we'll finish it off in a little frying pan. So we got our asparagus doing in there. Potatoes in there simmering away. We've got a pan with all our little bits in there. All I'm going to do with our little pan with all our little bits, pepper. Always use cracked black, it's so much better. Crushed flaked sea salt. And then I'm going to use tiny bit of oregano, dried oregano. I would use fresh if I had any, but unfortunately this time I don't have any. And then a little smidge of olive oil in there. That'll be enough to just sweat it all off and cook it off nicely. So So asparagus is all blanched off, that's in there. I'm going to chuck some butter and some little bit of olive oil in that in a bit, and we'll finish that in a pan. We've now got our diced up peppers, garlic, chestnut mushrooms and plum tomatoes all diced up in there, with a little bit of, what do we put in? Oregano, crushed sea salt, pepper, and then in there, which is nearly done. We've got our new potatoes, not quite there yet. So yeah, now we're just going to swap that up. And then when the potatoes are done, I'm going to pull them off, then I'll get my steak pan hot. Okay, so now our lovely blanched asparagus. I'll put some butter in there, a tiny drop of olive oil, loads of black pepper. In this we trust. Okay, so potatoes are drained off. Put them back on the heat just to help boil out some of that residual water that's left over. I think that's the right word. If it's not, I mean the water to get a shot of it, if you know what I mean. Just melt that. Melt? Christ, I've had too many beers. Get a shot of the water, so by steaming it off on the heat, that's the word I'm trying to say. Right, so that's done. Literally going to pull that off, stick that on the board, then go on while we're doing the next stage and turn that down, because all I'm doing with that is just literally warming them through. Nothing major at all. So on this, I'll take the knife and I'm going to chuck some butter in there, and then add a bit of salt and pepper. A little bit of sea salt again. Smidging of smidges of olive oil, not much.
Like pellets, won't it? Like to take stuff out, yeah?
Bucket, yeah. Excuse that disgusting interruption from my brother.
Sorry.
He just apologised. Don't worry about that. So with this, we're just going to take our crushed potatoes. We're going to take our potatoes. We're going to crush them up like you would with mash. But new potatoes always taste so much nicer. So we're going to use these little bad boys. Right, asparagus I'm going to pull off. That's done. This pan on the heat for our steak. Sort that over. I want that very hot now. So I'm going to let that get super hot. And while we're doing that, we can finish mashing our potato. Don't want to waste any. So there we go, our crushed new, put that to one side. Our pan's getting hot. Our veggies nice and sweated down. Just because you can. Little bit of beer flavour in there. Let that reduce down. Have a nice Rona flavour in there. Cheers. Okay, so now we got our asparagus done. We got our crushed new crushed, and then over here we've got our sort of like our Mediterranean-y sort of diced veg with a little bit of bear in it. I've stuck this pan on top of this. Two reasons: one, it saves space. Two, it obviously keeps the potatoes underneath hot. Therefore keeping the asparagus a bit warm on the top as well. In this pan now we've got that going on. I want that red hot. All I've got in there is olive oil. I'm going to take our steak that we put to the side earlier, all seasoned up. I'm going to take that now and I'm just going to lay that straight in the pan. And I'm going to leave it for the colour right up. Okay, so what I want to do now the split our steak over. Flip them over. And while we're doing that, I'm going to start plating up all the veggies which we've got stacked up in there. So bear with me and I will get them. Start putting that together now. So I'm starting with potato first. Get our asparagus. A little bit of an issue with our gas blowing in the wind today. So there we go. Steak, Mediterranean veg, crushed new potatoes, and sort of poached and then sort of lightly fried or sautéed asparagus. Lovely job. Let's give it a whirl, shall we? Cheers. Ah, just job. Oh my god. If you've never had sex, this is way, way better. I'm gonna need some private time to make this because it's so good. I'll catch you in the next cooking vid.